All right, a little bit of practice from what you did yesterday, and then we're going to do some examples. So this first problem, you really have to, or these first three, you really have to pay attention to this symbol in the middle. This first symbol in the middle is minus. So this is a subtraction problem. And when you have a subtraction problem with polynomials, you're going to distribute the negative. Distribute the negative, and then combine like terms. And when your like terms have the same variable and the same exponent. Okay? What's number 2? What kind of problem is number 2? Add, subtract, multiply. It's a multiplication problem, so that is a double distribute. Double distribute, then combine. What kind of problem is this one right here? Add. You have to distribute that guy and then add. Okay? So now let's go through these problems together. So if we're going to subtract, you can subtract the like terms. But I think it's easier to distribute the negative and then just combine. So all of this stuff in this first set of parentheses just comes down. And in the second set of parentheses, we switch the signs. So negative times negative is positive 2x squared. Negative times positive is negative 12. And then you're going to combine your like terms. And again, like terms have the same variable and the same exponent. So 9x squared's like term is 2x squared. And the 2x squared is positive, and so is the 9. So 9 plus 2 is 11x squared. Three x doesn't have any like terms, so it just needs to be brought down. And then negative 17 plus or minus 12, negative 29. And that's your final answer there. So the sign in the middle tells you the operation that you're doing. Okay, double distribute. So I'm going to take the x and I'm going to distribute to the 4x squared and the negative 11. So x times 4x squared, remember when we're multiplying and we have the same base, we add our exponents. X times x squared, 4x to the third. So it's because there are just parentheses there in the middle that tells you to multiply. X times negative 11 is negative 11x. I'm going to pause, ask a question if you have it. Okay. Now I need to do the same thing with a positive 3. 3 times 4x squared. Just like on that your Exponent Rules quiz yesterday, multiply the bigs, add the littles. 3 times 4 is 12. And you just have the x squared. And 3 times negative 11 is negative 33. That is a fine answer. Usually we write our exponents from biggest to smallest though. So I would just switch the order of the two in the middle. 4x cubed plus 12x squared minus 11x minus 33. That's why it says write answers in standard form. Standard form just means biggest exponent to smallest. All right, 3. So you have to be careful about order of operations here on number 3. You need to deal with the parentheses here first before you can just kind of break the parentheses open and work with everything. Okay, so the 19x plus 2, we're just going to bring down, and we can drop the parentheses as long as we're going to go ahead and distribute that 4 through. It's a plus in the middle. 4 times x is 4x. What's 4 times negative 6? Now we can combine our like terms. 19x and 4x are like terms. That's going to be 23x. Once you're done distributing, your exponents are not going to change. And then positive 2 minus 24 is negative 22. That's it. All right, let's skip number 4. Let's not solve that equation. Let's go to this page right here. We'll do the first 7 together and then give you some time to work. Now, all of these are multiple choice, also known as OST prep. I mean, honestly, everything we're doing from now till the end of the year is either prep for the OST or prep for geometry, one or the other. So what I would do first is in that box where you have to work, I would recopy the problem because we're going to have some work to do to this. Even though I could start rolling, I'm going to recopy and practice that. You're going to have to recopy from the computer screen, and it's a lot easier to check that you've copied the problem right if you're not doing any steps along the way. So just copy. And then what do I need to do with the 3 and the 2? Do what? We're not going to add them yet. Yeah, multiply them in. Distribute, distribute. So distribute the 3 through the first set of parentheses, distribute the 2 through the second set of parentheses. Ready, set, go. Right, 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times 3 is 9. Same work with the 2. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 1 is 2. 6x plus 2x is 8x's. Remember, if we're not multiplying, our exponents are not changing. 9 plus 2 is 11. So our answer is D. No shortcut for that one. Positive. All right, number 2. Which of the following is the simplified form? So you have to look out for select all that apply, because those are going to happen all over the things that we give to you, as well as on the OST. So if we're just picking one, it's nice that it's the simplified form. This is really an exponent rules problem. So again, I'm going to recopy 3x squared y. And then there's no exponent on the outside of these parentheses, so those parentheses just mean multiply. So I'm just going to do this, 5xy. Once I have that copied down, the other thing I'm going to do is put exponents where there aren't any. So there's not an exponent with my first y or my second y or that second x. And now this is an exponent rules problem just like you had yesterday on your quiz. So we're going to multiply the big numbers and add the little ones that have the same base. I'm going to reorder to do that. 3 times 5. Got those two. And I'm going to put my x's together. X squared, x to the first. Since I wrote it down, I can mark them off really nice. And then my y's. Y to the first, y to the first. And then I'm going to mark up just like you guys did on your paper yesterday. I had a couple people even do this. Multiply. Like write it below. And then this. Add. Add. You might not need to write the final answer if you have all of that written. Like if you're looking to save some lead, I can match this to what's going on over there, but I can't the step before. So 3 times 5 is 15. 2 plus 1 is 3, so it's x to the third. 1 plus 1 is 2, so it's y squared. 15x cubed y squared. B again. All right, which of the following is equivalent to that mess? Select all that apply. So this is 5 problems in one, because we have to simplify our original problem and then simplify all the little options too. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to copy my original problem down and then work it. So 4x times 2x plus 3 minus 5x. What's that? That's a great idea. So each step, like, distribute the 4 and then see if that's any of those. The thing is, though, it might, and that'll work, but it could be that, like, there's another one that's just unsimplified differently, so you might have to go back and double check the others. So the first thing I need to do is always multiply if we're thinking order of operations. Parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. So I'm going to distribute my 4x through. And remember, that's 4x to the first. So if I'm doing 4x to the first times 2x to the first, I'm going to multiply my bigs. 4 times 2 is 8. And add the exponents. 1 plus 1 is 2. So 8x squared. And then 4x times 3 is 12. Multiply my bigs. And then we're just going to tack that x on. The minus 5x just comes with us. Just got to bring it down. So what Pedrick was saying was, look and see if that's any of the options. And it is. So 8x squared plus 12x minus 5x is this one. So that's going to save us some work later trying to simplify that. Now we're going to simplify further. Which ones, we can combine like terms here. What are the like terms? Yeah, and what is 12 minus 5? So there's your fully simplified version. 8x squared plus 7x. Yep. And now we need to go and look at B and D and see if those are equivalent to what we have. Yeah. You think D is equivalent? Well, when I'm looking at B, I have 8x squared. I have negative 5x, which is like I had here. But plus 3, nope. So no. So Xavier says D. So if I add these, remember when we're combining like terms, we don't change our variables. So 5 plus 3 is 8x squared. And these two are like terms. 3x plus 4x is 7x. So awesome. A, C, and D are all answers there for that one. So I definitely support you being efficient as you work through the problem, like double check, but you gotta check your answers that you didn't come across as well. 4, which cannot be simplified. Okay, Jeremiah says B. They are not like terms. Can 2x and 9x, can we add those? Yep, that's 11x. So that can be simplified, so that's not an answer. What about A and A over 5? They are, because they're A to the first. It doesn't matter how nasty that is. That would just be 1A plus 1/5 A. It doesn't have to be pretty to be able to be added. Okay, that'd be 6/5 A. You can add 1 and 1/5. And 3 and negative 14, we can add those and get negative 11 P squared. That one was fast. Look at you looking ahead. Shoot. All right, 5. Simplify the polynomial. So here, you're going to distribute, combine like terms. Ready, set, go. Do it. There are more letters than numbers than it is. distribute, distribute, combine like terms. Some of you are even rewriting that in your little box, in the little box, because you're wonderful. At this point, everything we do is about helping you guys help yourselves on the OST. We know it's annoying to write out all the steps sometimes, but it's really, really, really going to help you. All right, I'm going to catch up with you. So that first distribute step, you're going to distribute the 3 and distribute the b. And then your second step is just to combine your like terms. And so here, I like to color code. You're not going to be able to color code unless you draw your own pins, but you can't. I like to cross them off as well. So we like to do our cube first, although on the OST, I don't think that's going to be a thing. I think you can put it in whatever order you want, as long as it is correct. I don't see any other cubes, so that's b cubed. Done. Now we're going to deal with all our squares. I have 3b squares, and here's 1, so 3 plus 1 is 4, and then I have minus 4 of them. So how many b squares do I have? 0. Those just all cancel. You're welcome to write 0b squared, or you can just cross them all out. And then the last thing we have there is positive 3b. b cubed plus 3b. Done. If it helps you to write out, like when we did this b squared business, 3b squared plus 1b squared minus 4b squared. And then you can see, oh, it's totally done. If that little middle step helps, that's great. 2 more problems, and then we're going to let you practice on your own. Which expression is equivalent? What operation is this? Add, subtract, multiply. That's what we know how to do with exponents and with polynomials. What operation? Okay, thank you. That's right. If there's no sign, we know that's multiply. You guys work it? I'll work it. We'll check our work together. All right. Do I have any like terms to combine on this one? I just double distributed. I did 2x squared times x, 2x squared times 4, 3 times x, 3 times 4. Any like terms? No. So I'm looking for 2x cubed, 8x squared. Okay, can be done there. 3x, 12. Boom. The 11x, no, that doesn't even have a cube. That has a cube, but not enough terms. That doesn't have an 8. All right. 7. Select all expressions that are equivalent to 9x to the 4th minus y squared. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mini problems. We've got to work each one. The first one is the trickiest. Because what does it mean to square something? What does squared mean? times it by itself. So this means this, 3x squared minus y times 3x squared minus y. So what we have to do here to see if this one matches is double distribute through this. Now, if it doesn't match, you can be done in the first place you see it not match. So 3 times 3 is 9. What's x squared times x squared? X to the 4th. Awesome. Not really. We don't really use... I knew what you meant, though. 3x squared times y is just 3x squared y. Here, negative y times 3x squared minus 3x squared times y. Minus times minus is plus. Y times y is y squared. Does that match our original problem? I see two issues with it. One, this plus. Up there, our y squared is negative. The other thing is these are not going to be 0. Those are going to be negative 6x squared y. So A is not equivalent. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to figure out that that doesn't work. But what this problem is doing is it's testing two things. It's testing exponent rules and multiplying binomials. And the OST likes to double dip like that. So squared here, if I bring this squared in, I square the 3. What's 3 squared? 9. Yep. What happens when what operation do I do with the 2 and the 2 there? Exponent rule style. Power to a power is? Multiply. So that's 9x to the 4th minus in between y squared. Does that match our original problem? Yes. Does C match our original problem? Yep. We have the 9 there. When we bring in the squared, and now it's just the same math from the previous problem. That's nice. Does D match Y? Yeah, that would have to go to the 9 there and would give you 81, and then you can just be done there. What about E? E, this guy is a difference of squares, and if you multiply, well, if you factor it, it becomes this, but you can multiply it here. 3x squared times 3x squared is 9x to the 4th. Your middle terms are going to be 1 negative and 1 positive. And your last positive negative is negative. Y times y is y squared. So those middle guys cancel. And that one matches. It's really tricky. It's really tricky, but it's all math that you know how to do. And what we want you to do really between now and the OST is practice those kind of problems. That they do take effort and like precision. Like you have to be precise with your math. But it's a lot of little things, not big hard questions, like a big difficult question.